Hi guys, how is everyone doing? I hope you have been doing okay. Yeah, it has been a minute, it has been a while. I took a break off and I think I took do I say extra time? Yeah, something like that. So I just needed some things of mine put in order before I finally start doing this without break. So for those who are new, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for those likes, those comments, and I hope I am able to impact your lives positively, even just one person every single day. Yeah, so for those who don't know me, my name is Judy Arego, and in this channel I am talking about children who undergo any form of defilement, mistreatment in the hands of relatives, in the hands of nannies, and especially in the hands of nannies, because my child is a victim. So I also tell stories about the beautiful nannies, those with beautiful hearts, those who have been blessed to take care of other people's children like their own. So if you have a house help who you wish the world to know their perfect work that they're doing out here, reach out to me, and trust you me, we will air that story and appreciate, at least give her flowers when she is still alive. Yeah, and the cruel ones, we are also capturing those videos. Let me know, send me a message on my inbox and I will be able to air the episode. Okay, so today I want to talk about something a little bit serious. Yeah, because this is something that happens, it happens a lot. So I watched one of Lynn Gugi's videos. I always watch every single video she uploads, and I watched this one concerning this young girl whose life was snatched before her time by the name Ebbie. So one thing that stood out is that she was hated in school. One of the reasons being because she could speak perfect English. I somehow related because I've had an experience too way back in high school, though my high school was way almost 10 years ago. Yeah, so growing up, I attended a school where my dad was a teacher. And my dad was this tough mwalimu. They called him mwalimu. So my dad was a very tough teacher, and when I got to standard 3, I said, Dad, I'm not going to school unless you take me to another school. Like, I was willing to drop out of school. My dad was so tough, such that when we were on the assembly and someone makes noise next to me, if I did not point out that person immediately, I was going to be beaten for the sake of that person making noise next to me. And I was expected to be disciplined, and my uniform was always supposed to be neat and perfectly ironed, and I was just supposed to be, being in the same school with your parent, and he's known to stand out, so mtoto wake pia is supposed to stand out. So when I got to class 3 going to class 4, I told my dad, I'm not going back to the school where you are teaching, or I'm leaving school unless you take me to a new school. So my dad took me to Lua Girls Boarding Primary, Our Lady of Perpetual Help, PO Box 18 Nilima. Yeah, so I joined boarding school in class 4. And when I joined boarding school, I'm from the village. I don't even know English. I just know the simple greetings, asking for water. Yeah, and I remember my first English in primary, in that boarding school at Lua Girls was, I asked another lady to help me, a pupil, to help me with a glass of water. Can you help me with a glass of water? That was my first English at Lua Girls. So I was taken to school. I did my interview. I passed and joined class 4. So I was there in class 4, class 5, class 6, class 7, class 8. I did my KCP, I passed, and I was called to join Luak girls and Keroka girls. I refused. Ile struggle nilikuwa nimepitia kila siku. You know, when you're going to Luak girls, kuna vile ukifika Ndori, those who've been to Nyanza, those sides of Asembo, going to Yoma, when you get to Ndori, you can see iyo msalaba ya Luak girls, iyo msalaba ya church ya Luak, yeah. So you are still at Ndori, but unaona memories za shule zimeanza kukuja. Hiyo ni siku ya kwenda shule. I loved it. I loved my primary. It was perfect. We ate good food. We went to church every day. And the best moments were those that nilikuwa nasoma Bible church. I was perfect in reading the Luo Bible in church. And I would be called to read on Saturdays. And I would be called to read when the sisters were having their mass. And it was beautiful. I'm a Catholic. And everything that relates with Catholic just makes me happy. Kindly forgive me if you hear so much noise. Where I'm staying, there is so much noise na niko tu karibu na barabara, yeah. So I told my mom I'm not going back to Lua girls. My dad refused. I'm not going to Keroka girls. So my mom had to look for a school. You know, my dad gives up really fast, so my mom had to look for a school. So all this time I'm still in Nairobi with my auntie. So by the time she got a school, it was around end of January. So for them to plan and I go to school, I joined Form 1 on 24th February 2008. So when I got to school, I was this tiny, yani very tiny, weighing, I don't know, 40 what kgs. I was so tiny. Ata matiti sina. I had not even started my P's. Like, I was a baby kabisa. So uniforms hazikunitosha. I had to stay for 2 weeks without uniform. The only thing I had that related me to the school was the sweater. Hiyo tu ndio kitu nilinitosha. So nilipewa sweater nikakaa wiki mbili bila uniform. So nilikuwa na hii dress ya home, and I will put on my nice shoes and my beautiful socks with a dress from home and a sweater, and I will go to class. Hakuna kitu nilinitosha, kit, tops, skirt, blouse, hakuna kitu nilinitosha. So I go to school like today. Then now I started my P's on 25th Feb 2008. Girl, I cried. I had learned about P's and stuff, but no one had ever showed me like pads zinaikwa hivi or ikikuja itakuja hivi. I think because of change of weather, ilikuja like damu, and it got me scared, and I cried, and I had to go to the sick bay and the matron had to teach me how to put the pads and what view and everything. But now my classes started and everything was okay. So on my second week in Form 1 yellow, nikekwa class prefect. I still don't have uniform. Nikwa class prefect. So one thing that stood out, I had perfect English. Anyone can say that any pupil from Our Lady of Perpetual Help, Luak Girls Primary, leaves that school with polished, perfect English, because it is the only language we speak. And you know, once you are in a boarding school, you have no one to corrupt your mind. Like, you speak Swahili 1 minute, you speak the Luo the next, and you speak, it is purely English, and so it's very easy to adapt. Plus, all my life, I always wanted to be a journalist. So I had this interest in English and I spoke it perfectly. So my English was perfect. Then I was confident. Plus I had that kakierere. Saini venye nimegrow. So I had that kakierere growing up, and I've always wanted to stand out, by the way. Me, anything that I do, I always want it to shine. That's why if I'm not in a perfect position to do it at that moment, I will put it aside. So my English was perfect. And then now, you know, in high school, we have people from Nairobi, we have people from Ushago, and kuna wale wako na class like they are posh. Mnaelewa hizi vitu. So sisi tulikuwa tumetoka Ushago. The reason my English was perfect was because I was taken to a good boarding school, you see. And then now we have these people from Nairobi. They watch the TVs, they know the latest musicians, they know the latest songs, they can dance perfectly. Mimi, the only thing I will see in my village when I return from school, ningeenda kuchuna mapera na maembe, tunangoja zianguke usiku zile za dodo tuokote asubuhi. And you know jamna, I don't know what is jamna in English. Zambarau. And life was perfect, you know. So when you get to high school, you have to, like, there's, they call the social class. If you know, in high school kuna low class, kuna middle na kuna high, just the same way iko hapa nje. So utapata those who are from high class, they will not even relate with you, like you have nothing to talk about, you see. So you have to look for your class and just try to fit in. So my English was okay. Na wale wenye wametoka Nairobi walikuwa na Kiswahili mingi. So they talk to you in Kiswahili and you reply in English, and it was like unaringa, unajifanya nini nini blah blah and stuff like that, and it became an issue. So you know, we are in Form 1, nimewekwa prefect. We would go for morning preps. Na watu napiga kelele, teacher on duty ashafika hiyo asubuhi, anatembea tu pole pole, ameweka mkono huku nyuma, unaona, anajua vizuri watu anapiga kelele. So when he gets to your class and asks for noisemakers, automatically you'll have to give, you see. So there were those notorious ones. The notorious ones wanajijua hapa nje. There were those notorious ones, if they were not making noise, they are sleeping, or they did not attend morning preps. And no, sometimes the teacher comes and counts. Anajua watu wenye wako class na watu wenye hawako. So wenye hawako, you also have to produce. If you don't, when is sacrificial lamb, utachapwa kwa niaba yao, like you're not doing your work. Unaona. So I had this group of ladies kutoka Nairobi. They were posh. They had slick hair, unaona ile wameka chem, wameka chemical vizuri, ile nye wakishika nywele zao kwenye unaona ina dango livi kama hybrid yangu, like iko refu. Na wewe unaona umetoka primary school where mlikuwa mnanyoa, so ndio umeanza kumeesha nywele, bado uko na zile mashirabo, unaona ile nye ukishuka ukichana, by the time break time inafika imeanza kutengeneza ndengu. You're still struggling with your hair, and they have this posh hair. Yani wanakaa tu smart, they are beautiful, wako tu sawa, wametoka Nairobi. So these are people I never even had issues with. I never thought anything would ever make me cross paths with them in a wrong way. I never used to write those who are sleeping in class, by the way, because they were not making noise, unless the teacher finds you and now you have to follow the teacher. I only used to write those who never attended classes and the noisemakers. So this group, they would sleep in a class or not attend class, you see. So first time, form 1 ikaisha, tukaingia form 2. I was still the class prefect. So tuna continue. But then I got uniform after 2 weeks. Bado ilikuwa refu inafika huku chini. Matron akakutana na mimi kwa corridor, kanishikia na kipini. Now you know I had to wait and close school and go back home ndio nitengenezewe uniform yenye sasa inanitosha. Ndio ukienda home sasa unaikata, una fit, inafanya inakutosha. You can also get another pair now from home, ukiangalia material yenye umetoka nayo. So in form 2 now, these ladies hated me, the sleeping lot. I call them queen of slumberlands. There's no single day niliwahi waandika jina ati wamechele, like wako noisemeka sama wajakuja preps, because they would come but sleep in class. Now me, that's your problem. But they hated me because my English was perfect. You see? These ladies planned and took my books, exercise books. You know how writing notes in secondary school is hectic. My biology, my geography, my physics, and my chemistry book. They tore into smaller pieces. They shredded my books. I think it was on a weekend. Now, you know, on weekends, on Saturdays after lunch, on Sundays after lunch, you never used to go to class. On Saturdays, ilikuanga entertainment, you know. So it's either walipata tu time. They went to my locker, took my books. They shredded my books. Zenye nilikuwa nimeandika notes nikistruggle kuchora diagrams. They tore my books into small pieces, wakatupa kwa choo. I never knew one whole term. Sikuwahi jua. Natafuta vitabu, nauliza class, naenda kuangalia hata kama zile kolektiwa, hazikuwahi kolektiwa. I received strokes. Kila mwalimu akikuja class kama una kitabu yake ni kiboko. Every single day. People are writing notes, you cannot write notes, jua una books. And then sa hiyo visiting day ishapita. So, hakuna venye unaweza ambia mzazi nataka vitabu, and you know stuffs like that. Unless uende uongee na mwalimu, ampigie simu. Sometimes they take time to reply, vitu kama hizo. I was beaten. Kwanza teacher wetu wa chemistry was the most ruthless one. This woman will beat you ni kama napiga ng'ombe. Hey. Yani mpaka ilifika ile place penye I would see next ni lesson ya chemistry, naanza tu kulia. Because I know what's coming. Angekuchapa ile yenye ukienda kuoga, you feel like your ass is swollen, na unaweza ona hizo strips za strokes. Unaona? Uwezi kaa, ukikaa una feel matako inawaka moto. So it went on, sina books, najaribu kutafuta, and it traumatized me. Ile ni traumatized mpaka performance ikarudi chini. I'm like, vitabu zangu zimeenda wapi? Kwani kuna kuanga na majini? Then I used to hear like secondary school ziko na majini blah blah. I'm like, kwani majini zimechukua vitabu zangu? You know? So one day the friendship group squad break. So after squad break, one of the ladies akaenda kambia another lady who was my friend that wenye walirarua vitabu zangu ni fulani. So I went and asked them, niliwakosea nini? What did I ever do? Ati unasema English mzuri sana na unajifanya unaona ni kama wewe ndio unaweza ongea. Ndio maana unakuja unatupata tumeshaingia form 1 mbele yako na unaekwa prefect. Ni juu unajua kuongea Kizungu. And I'm like, so you tore my books, threw them in the latrine because I can speak perfect English. What? So I had to report them kwa kila mwalimu wa subject. Wakapanishiwa, wakaninunulia vitabu, and they had to write for me notes way from form 1. Says that tuko form 2, naenda ku drop physics anyway na geography because me I was going to take history CRE. I never loved sciences. Mimi na sciences na maths uko. So wanaandika hiyo time na hata it's not even useful. Unaona, because haziendi kunisaidia. I'm dropping these subjects after all. So yesterday when I watched Lingugi's story, and I'm like, someone is hated because they can speak English. Is it their fault? Is English even a measure of intelligence? There are so many people out here who cannot express themselves perfectly in English, but they are very bright. They are doing wonders. But hawezi ongea Kizungu. Well, Kizungu is not even our first language. It's just something that someone develops interest na anajipata anaweza ongea Kizungu kwa. So you know, to this date I still wonder, because of English, someone tore my books. Like, how did they even feel? How do you even feel hating someone because they can speak perfect English than you? And then, you know, I never even wanted to like tell my dad, because you know my dad would have gotten me out of that school immediately. My dad never used to wait. So staki ajue because I want to continue being in this school. Nimeletwa, staki kuwapea ile gharama juu niko na sibling wengine bado naingia shule. Unaona? So when I listened to that story and I'm like, Ebbie was hated because she spoke good English. And because she's a Jamaican and people could not believe. I can imagine that toxicity, that environment, how she felt. And then finally meeting her death in that same environment. How toxic can people be? Just how bad can people be? And me, I always say, no one in school, no one should be discriminated or looked down upon or just hated because wao ni masonko kwao. Akivizitiwa na kuja na gari kubwa. Kwanza that in high schools. Ngoja utembelewe shule na gari kubwa, uletewe shopping boxes. Ile time mnakula in our school, mwalimu angezunguka tu field, anazunguka tu field. Jaribu kufail. Unachapwa na walimu hivi mkizunguka in the staff room. Now, is it your problem that your parents can manage to bring you a huge box? Is it your problem that you are able to express yourself perfectly in English? Is it your fault that you are a Kenyan and you are a Jamaican, or you are a Kenyan and you are a Japanese? Imagine people going through such things because of pettiness. And I know most people went through it. Not everybody is comfortable to talk, but such things should just stop in our school. Kila mzazi ambie tu mtoto wake, si kila mtu anakuanga nayo, unaona? Like, not everyone will be blessed all round. I could see even in high school, you'd find someone so perfect in geography, business, sciences, but really struggling in languages and things to do with French, home science, blah, blah. And you'd find someone perfect in English like I was, but ikikuja kwa hesabu. Funny thing, my dad was a maths and geography teacher. So, it pains that someone can be discriminated because they speak a certain language, because they are from us, they have, do I say blood or relationship from another country mixed with Kenya. How does that even affect one's performance? How does that even affect that teacher or that student who is punishing this child? Where is humanity? I can imagine the amount of hatred she had to endure before finally being beaten to death. And then, most of us will not speak, especially if you are in school. You will not even say, because you don't even know how to start. Imagine going home to tell your mom, Mama, imagine watu wananichukia shule juu najua kusema Kizungu. Does it even make sense? It doesn't. And these people who will hate you. Imagine my books were torn for no valid reason. Someone hata sikuwahi andika jina zake noisemaker. Alikuanga analala na shindwa akipatikana. Akiitwa na mwalimu aende. Now she hates me. Reason, I can speak good English. They came to school before me. I was made a prefect before them. And they are perfect, they are posh, they are beautiful with long sleek hair. They come from Nairobi. Me, I come from the village. You see, there's even nothing that can bring us close. Like, hatuna kitu in common. They are, according to them at that time, they were way above me. But they still had the courage to tear my books and throw in the latrine. I can just imagine what this lady went through. And I can just imagine what the mom is going to. She knows very well her child was hated. Reason, she's a Jamaican and she can speak perfect English. Which type of nonsense is that? And then the Kenyan government is not even doing anything about it. 3 years down the line, as a mother is still crying for their child. And the deputy head teacher has the confidence to say, I thought this case is with the police, blah blah blah. How inhuman can people be? Yani watu wana sympathy kabisa. Watu hata wana roho ya utu tu hata kidogo. Well, it hurts, it pains knowing that a child would lose their life at that young age. This is a child who had dreams. This is a child whose mom had aspirations with. Maybe she was our leader of tomorrow. You see, she had the same skin color as mine. She has the same hair as mine. What makes you feel that now she feels special because she's from another country, or now that she can speak a perfect language? English is not a measure of intelligence, and it's not everyone who will always have everything they want to. And it's life. Imagine wote tungekuwa masonko, dunia ingekuwa imbalanced. Now I wish we can raise a generation that is sympathetic, a generation that embraces all, a generation that knows what love is, a generation that knows that it's okay not to have enough. We are human. And we are not perfect. Every single day we learn. So why can't we just embrace, okay, instead of hating that person because they speak perfect English, why don't you be their friend and try to learn that good English that because the only reason you hate that person is because you don't have what they have. Well, you have the option of being their friend and getting the same thing that they have. I just wish Mama Ebbie can get justice. It's painful. I wish that woman can get the justice her child deserves. And everyone whose hand was in that child's death to face the wrath of law. I know God in heaven is not sleeping. God can never sleep. And the spirit of that child will never rest until justice is done. Na hata mimi wale mlirarua vitabu zangu tukiwa high school. I know nowadays you pray, you praise God, you go for Bible studies. I have never forgiven you. You cannot tear my books in high school and pretend to be praying out here. I listen. I know you pray. Ask God to forgive you. You cannot have such a black heart and pretend to be praying. Which God are you praying? In fact, I'm angry. Thank you guys for watching this video. I am back. I'm ready to cover all your stories. Send them to my number or my Instagram or my Facebook or anywhere you can get me. Just send me a DM and I will call you and we'll organize and I will cover your story. Let's spread positivity in the world. Let's rescue our children and let's teach our children to get rid of jealousy. Replace that with love. Imagine hate is so expensive. Hate is expensive. Thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for all the subscribers. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for everyone that is part of this family. I appreciate you because without you people, I am nothing. So let's grow together. I hope to grow with you guys, and if there's anything I can share, I will always share with you because you're my family. Now Apenda, make sure you watch this video to the end, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. Let me know your experiences back in high school. Even those small punishments that you used to be given in school, how did they feel? Were you ever given a punishment just because you felt hated? Were you ever hated because you had something that people were longing to have? What was your experience back in school? You know, during our time kulikuwa na kiboko. Saya kuna kiboko. During our time kulikuwa na kiboko. See you guys in my next video. Bye.